What if one morning, you wake up in a quiet village surrounded by misty mountains and realize that everything you thought was just laziness was actually the unlocked doorway to mastering life? Imagine discovering not just a life-changing secret, but the power that turns ordinary people into legends without any riches or fancy lifestyles, just pure discipline. Before you think it's impossible, listen closely. Pre-winter's icy breath lingered as the small village of Greenwood stirred under a pale morning sky. The last autumn leaves danced in frosty breezes, and silence wrapped the thatched, snow-dusted homes. In one such home, Aditya, once deemed the sleepiest soul in the village, struggled with the chilling air, the warmth of his blanket promising comfort he had always chosen over tasks. But today felt different. As dawn crept across his window, Aditya remembered the words of Elder Gabriel, the mountain monk known for wisdom and unwavering discipline. Earliest birds catch not just the worm, but entire seasons of success. What lesson waited beyond just waking up on time? Aditya's day often began late, missing the mountain song and the village's first smiles. Work, study, even tending to goats and gardens, he did as little as possible. Neighbors laughed at his forgetfulness. Friends teased about his chronic lateness. Yet Aditya, gentle-hearted, never returned their jibes with anger. He believed freedom meant living by the heart's whim. He'd say, "Life is more fun when you aren't chained to a clock." In reality, he was drifting, letting life's river take him wherever it pleased. But that lingering question tugged at him. Was discipline truly a key to greatness? Could a change in habit transform not just days, but an entire life? One frost-tipped evening, Elder Gabriel invited Aditya to the edge of the maple forest. The monk, clad in simple woven robes, radiated calm across the chilling wind. Discipline is not about denying joy. It's about choosing which joys last beyond a fleeting morning, he said, offering Aditya a challenge. Meet me by the waterfall at first light. Only then will you learn the answer you seek. Aditya hesitated. The winter dawn was unforgiving, the river's edge far from his warm bed. But curiosity and a spark of hope nudged him to accept. The alarm buzzed before the sun. Half awake, Aditya felt the pull of old habits, the comfort, the excuses. Just one more hour, his mind pleaded. Yet Gabriel's words echoed, and determination overpowered the drowsiness. Stepping out into the silver-blue cold, he trudged along maple groves, boots crunching on frost. At the waterfall, the monk waited, smile gentle, hands folded. You've conquered the first giant, yourself. The hardest mountain to climb is always the mind. Aditya shivered, not from cold, but from the realization that leaving comfort was the true test of discipline. Gabriel led Aditya through the waking village. Farmers, wrapped in old coats, worked steadily, sowing seeds and mending fences before the world fully woke. Children fetched water, their laughter rising above the icy air. No one here lived luxuriously, yet their faces glowed with pride. This is discipline, Gabriel gestured. It's not a punishment, but an investment. Every small habit, rising early, tending the farm, learning, sharing, builds a fortress against defeat. Aditya watched an old woman plant potatoes with care, each motion deliberate. How did these people find strength in routine, not boredom or burden? Inspired, Aditya resolved to change. Not overnight, but bit by bit, like the creek carving through stone. He set his schedule, not just for chores, but learning, reflection, even moments of gratitude. At first, friends doubted him. "Aditya, are you turning into a monk?" they joked. But discipline brought fresh energy. Each day grew brighter, skills sharpened, work felt lighter. Even failures became lessons in persistence. Bit by bit, his confidence grew. Villagers started noticing, a shift not just in routines, but in the ways Aditya helped others. He taught children, tended to elders, and volunteered in the mountain school. There were days Aditya faltered. The winter deepened, tasks grew harder, temptations returned. Some afternoons he wanted to quit, push away the structure, and return to old comforts. But Gabriel's teaching steeled him. When your discipline wavers, remember why you started. The habit is your shield, not your prison. Slowly, he learned discipline wasn't about perfection, but progress. Each morning risen on time, every task finished without delay, became a silent victory. Years passed. Greenwood transformed. Children grew. The mountain trails saw new faces. Aditya, once the town's laziest lad, now led by example. His simple home became a hub for learning. No luxury, just warmth, wisdom, and stories. Locals sought his advice. Struggling adults, restless teens, even giggling children, all found comfort in Aditya's guidance. Discipline had unlocked not just his own greatness, but set ripples through the village. The monk watched from afar, pleased, but always ready with new challenges. Aditya's story echoed. Age is no barrier. Whether child, middle-aged, or elder, everyone can find meaning in routine, persistence, and self-control. He'd gather villagers by the bonfire, sharing tales, each story stitched with a lesson. The strength found in rising early. The pride in finishing a task well. The joy of mastering temptation and serving others. Too often, the world tells adults to chase luxury and ease, yet the simple path, Aditya proved, leads to lasting fulfillment. The changing seasons taught their own wisdom. The river froze, mountains shed leaves, and the sun lingered low. Every part of nature worked on schedule, disciplined, steady, unfazed by hardship. Aditya urged neighbors to learn from nature's rhythm. Discipline isn't about rigid rules, it's aligning with life's natural flow. The river, the bird, the tree, they all thrive because they move with purpose. His village stood proud, not wealthy, but rich in resolve. One bitter night, a blizzard threatened Greenwood. The disciplined routines paid off. Homes prepared, supplies stocked, animals sheltered. Aditya organized help, coordinating villagers to face the storm together. In hardship, discipline was the greatest ally. Every habit formed in peaceful times now served in crisis. When the morning came, the village stood strong. Families celebrated not wealth, but the endurance born of discipline. As winter eased and spring's promise returned, Aditya became Greenwood's counselor. He traveled mountain paths, teaching discipline to remote villagers, monks, and wilderness schools. Always dressed simply, always kind, he was proof that greatness thrives in humble hearts. He reminded every adult, if I can change, so can you. Discipline is a seed. All it needs is planting and daily care. Scene 13. Discipline's true reward. In the end, Aditya's reward was not fame or riches. It was the respect of his neighbors, the affection of children, and the contentment of a life changed by daily choices. His story became Greenwood's legend. The lesson repeated. In simplest villages, away from luxury, discipline forges souls of iron. Elder Gabriel, now old, whispered, "You have mastered life's hardest lesson, not because you won every battle, but because you never stopped fighting." As Aditya sat by the thawing waterfall, winter fading behind him, he pondered. Discipline is a daily practice, a choice towards greatness regardless of age or origin. Every sunrise, every task completed, is a step along the unending road of self-mastery. His story remains Greenwood's gift to the world, a call to arms for adults everywhere. Choose discipline and let the most wondrous life begin. Learn more about life-changing stories and unlock your mind's true power. Subscribe to Kai's Mindset Mastery and transform your routine into greatness, one step at a time.